Hello everyone and welcome to my Bachelor Nation 24 channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Golden Bachelorette fans sad Joan Vassos treated Keith poorly. Golden Bachelorette fans are upset at how Joan Vassos treated a few of the men on Wednesday night. She sent home 3 fan favorites in one episode just before hometowns. Now fans are voicing their opinions about how she treated Keith Gordon and even Mark Anderson. What is being said and why are fans so upset with Joan? Keep reading to find out more. Fans are upset with Golden Bachelorette Joan Vassos over Keith. Golden Bachelorette Joan Vassos said goodbye to 3 amazing men on Wednesday, and fans are not happy. Not only did some favorites leave, but many fans are not happy with her treatment of them. When Joan sent home Mark Anderson, she had a nice talk with him and sent him home before the rose ceremony ever happened. He even had a complete exit video in the car ride away from the mansion. Jonathan Roan was also eliminated, and she walked him out as well to say goodbye. He also had some departing words for fans. However, when it came time for Keith Gordon to leave, he appeared to get nothing. Joan did not walk him out. There was no exit interview aired. Nothing. Fans did not like this as Keith was the girl dad everyone loved from night 1 when he pulled up to the mansion in a station wagon. He made a huge impression on Joan and was even given the first impression rose. Plus, he made it to almost the final 4. Many wonder why it seemed he was given the cold shoulder. Perhaps after the season wraps up, Joan will address it, or maybe Keith will spill the tea in an exit podcast interview. Did you think it was odd the way she treated Keith? Fans also upset over Mark Anderson. There are tons of fans who believe that Mark Anderson was being set up to be the Golden Bachelor. However, many also voiced that they thought it was wrong how Joan treated him when she told him the reasons she was sending him home. She says he was not over his late wife. However, fans judged her for saying that when she appears to constantly talk about her late husband John. Mark has been dealing with losing his wife much longer than Joan has. Overall, fans had a lot of anger toward Joan this past episode over her choices. In the dramatic world of the Golden Bachelorette, few moments have stirred such an emotional whirlwind as Joan Vassos' controversial treatment of Keith Anders during last night's episode. The golden years of dating, it seems, are no less fraught with heartbreak and misunderstanding than the whirlwind romances of their younger counterparts. Fans of the show have taken to social media in droves, expressing sadness, frustration, and even outrage over what they perceive as Joan's mishandling of Keith's genuine affection. The episode began with high hopes. Keith, a retired architect with a penchant for poetry and a soft-spoken demeanor, had been a fan favorite from the start. His connection with Joan appeared genuine, a spark that had been kindled during their first one-on-one date when he recited an original poem about second chances at love. Joan, a vivacious and independent entrepreneur, seemed moved by his sincerity, and their chemistry was undeniable. But last night's events painted a different picture, leaving fans questioning Joan's intentions. The trouble began during the group date, a quirky activity involving ballroom dancing. Keith, ever the gentleman, took the opportunity to showcase his 2 left feet with an endearing charm that had the other contestants chuckling. But Joan's reaction was far from what viewers expected. Instead of laughing along or encouraging him, she seemed visibly annoyed, her patience wearing thin with each misstep Keith took. The tension was palpable, and by the time the group date ended, it was clear that something was amiss. Later that evening, during the cocktail party, Keith pulled Joan aside to address the awkwardness. In a heartfelt conversation, he admitted that dancing wasn't his forte, but that he had thrown himself into the activity because he knew how much she loved it. "I just wanted to make you smile," he said, his voice trembling slightly. But instead of acknowledging his effort, Joan's response was curt. "Keith, I need someone who can keep up with me, in every way," she said, her tone as icy as the champagne flute in her hand. Fans were aghast. Keith's vulnerability, juxtaposed with Joan's cold dismissal, struck a nerve with viewers who had been rooting for their connection. Keith deserves someone who appreciates his effort. One fan tweeted, "He's out here pouring his heart out, and Joan's acting like he spilled her drink." Another added, "Joan's behavior tonight was so disappointing. Keith is a gem, and she's treating him like cubic zirconia." As the evening wore on, the situation only worsened. Joan's interactions with other contestants seemed to highlight a preference for more overtly confident and flamboyant personalities. She spent considerable time laughing with Pascal, the charismatic salon owner with an undeniable swagger, and engaged in a deeply personal conversation with Chalk, whose heartfelt story of overcoming loss had brought her to tears. Meanwhile, Keith sat on the sidelines, visibly deflated. The final blow came during the rose ceremony. As host Jess Palmer announced that it was time for Joan to make her decisions, Keith stood among the group, his hands clasped nervously. When Joan called Pascal's name first, followed by Chalk's, fans held their breath. But as the roses dwindled, it became painfully clear that Keith's name wouldn't be called. When Joan finally turned to him, her explanation felt hollow. "Keith, you're an incredible man," she began. "But I need someone who can challenge me in ways that push me out of my comfort zone. I just don't feel that with you." Keith's departure was a quiet one. Ever the gentleman, he hugged Joan and wished her well, his voice steady despite the hurt in his eyes. But once he was in the car, his emotions spilled over. "I really thought there was something there," he admitted to the camera. "I guess I was wrong." His vulnerability and grace in the face of rejection only endeared him further to fans, who flooded social media with messages of support. Keith deserves a queen, not someone who's still figuring out if she wants a king or a court jester. One particularly biting tweet read. Another fan posted a montage of Keith's best moments, set to a melancholic rendition of Unchained Melody, captioned, "Justice for Keith." The hashtag quickly began trending, with viewers calling for him to be considered as the next Golden Bachelor. Joan, for her part, has faced significant backlash. While some fans sympathize with her desire to find a partner who matches her energy and zest for life, many feel that her approach lacked compassion. "It's okay for Joan to know what she wants," one fan commented on Instagram, but the way she dismissed Keith was unkind. He deserved better. Insiders close to the show have hinted that Joan is struggling with the public's reaction. Joan is a strong woman, but this has been tough on her, one source revealed. She's starting to question if she made the right choice. Others have pointed out that the pressure of being the Golden Bachelorette can lead to hasty decisions. It's easy to forget that these contestants are navigating an intense environment, the insider added. Joan probably didn't realize how her actions would come across on screen. As the season continues, fans are left wondering if Joan will find the deep connection she claims to seek. Meanwhile, Keith's departure has sparked calls for his return to Bachelor Nation. "Get us Keith as the Golden Bachelor," one fan demanded. "We need more men like him on our screens." Others have suggested that he should be given his own show, perhaps centered around his poetry and journey to find love. For now, Keith remains a symbol of grace under pressure, a reminder that vulnerability is a strength, not a weakness. And while Joan's journey continues, the shadow of her treatment of Keith may linger, serving as a cautionary tale for future contestants. In the world of reality TV, where love and drama go hand in hand, moments like these are what keep audiences coming back. Tears, heartbreak, hashtags, and all.